Hello, puppy darling. Hey, Dad. Hey, Happy. Hey, Carrie. Hey, the mouse. Hello, hello. I just thought I'd come on here real quick. Um, I've been doing a lot of researching and finding stuff on Tim Mullins. We've got a serious conversation when we talk about Tim Mullins, but that's scheduled for tomorrow. I'm not going to do that tonight. Pretty Sweet Pea. Exploited. What have you been doing? I know everybody's baking. I didn't bake this year. Not this year. Bah humbug, babe. That's the way I feel. Bah humbug. All right, hold on. Let me turn my big light off and turn my lamp on. Too much light. Much better. Okay, so the other day when I did my live, I think some people had some questions on it, and if they do, they can come over and ask me. I'll be glad to tell them for sure. Um, so, okay. So I was left a comment. Hold on. When Kirst was up here, Kirst made a comment. And she's getting called out for it. I mean, that's basically the truth. And it being my channel, I feel I need to listen to it and see exactly what was said. I don't think Remain Comma copyright strike me. Me and Curse were just talking about a lot of different things, so I wasn't sure exactly where. And Tragedy Pimps Exposed gave me the link. Thank you for doing that, for real, because I wouldn't have known where to go back and even look at it. Now, this is the only thing that I know about, Fred, Ziggy, and Fred's sisters and stuff. It's not something that I have followed. Not a lot of it. Of course, I do hear about it, but the only to me, that was a family situation. That was a family situation. And unfortunately, Fred's sisters felt they needed to come out and be defensive against what Fred and Ziggy were saying about them. And I completely understand that. But it was a family thing. And you guys remember how I've always said that, there's little fires. I call them little fires, okay? There's family situations in that area. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there. Now, I don't know Fred's sisters. I've never spoken to them. I really did not feel that I needed them people to tell me anything. Family stuff. Wasn't my business. But I did know the fact that, yes, Fred and Ziggy made them girls have to come out and be on the defensive, which is bullshit in my opinion. Absolute bullshit. But, okay. So I am going to commentate on this because I not to play devil's advocate or anything, for sure, but thank you, Tragedy Pimps Exposed, for leaving that comment. I really appreciate you doing that. I do. Because I think it's important that everybody see, not only have Fred and Ziggy tried to ruin a lot of lives, in my opinion, in Tennessee, what they did to his family was not good. Not good, in my opinion. And hey, Minnie Pearl. And like I said, I hadn't followed it. I really hadn't. So I think maybe, well, let's just listen to it. That's all we can do. And believe me, you guys, I don't like going back and listening to my stuff. I do not like my voice. I cannot stand to listen to myself. So thank you guys for being here and listening. Hey, Stephen. For sure. Right? Okay. All right. Let me make sure closed captions are on for you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Because we were talking about so many different things, you guys. We really were. And sometimes I talk about so many different things over here, I kind of forget some of the stuff I talk about. Shit, Remain, what the fuck are you doing? Get it together, lady. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Yeah. I don't have the video of Candace in the gas station. So Dawn and Candace can visit that gas station all they want and say whatever they want while they're in there. That's right. It doesn't hold any bearing anywhere to Summer's case. Nope, at all. And I don't understand how, Candace going to the gas station on the 15th could possibly hold bearing to the case. Possibly, but not them going in the gas station after that. Candace and Dawn ain't said anything to none of their friends so far, so I don't know why anybody would think that Dawn's going to walk into a gas station and happen to say something to a clerk that is going to break the case. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it. That is the way I feel about it. Hey, Ruby. But that's just me. Hey, Georgia Peach. That's just me. Hey, Jackie. Good to see ya. Good to see you. So like I said, this is kind of on the Fred and Ziggy side. And, okay. So let's hear it. People are just walking into Ronnie Lawson's office and conversing with him about Summer's case, period. That's what I heard. I don't know.
You believe what you want.
And if Ronnie Lawson can talk to people just coming in off the street about Summer, I would think that he could speak with the public. I'm just saying. Let's say it didn't happen. I wasn't there. I
I
wasn't
want
there.
more proof. That's what I'm saying. I want more proof.
And I don't need any more proof. Let me tell you guys something. If somebody goes and talks to Lawson, good for them. If Lawson talks to them, good for them. Right? Hey, I would like to have a combo with Ronnie Lawson. No doubt about it. Like to pick his brain a little bit. Maybe I could trick him into telling me things. I am the trickster, right? Ziggy, thank you for giving me that name. You are just the sweetest. Not.
I heard what I heard. And yes, I heard it was about, the email was about cotton.
Yep.
But
Yes. And I said that. And we all knew that because I played it on my channel where Six Up said it was about cotton. So nobody was fibbing there, okay? Nobody was fibbing.
it was also talked about in a different way. And that's why people were confused and probably still are confused. And some people just wrote it off as, well, you know. whatever.
Well, we wasn't confused over
I wasn't
here.
confused.
We're pretty smart cookies over here. We knew
I
it was
say
about
we
cotton
are.
the whole time. I'm not a narcissist, and my people are not flying monkeys, okay? We are pretty smart. I'm just saying. Got a little bit of common sense, and we listen. We listen. It's called listening, right? I don't know Six Up. I've never had a problem with Six Up ever. I mean, I really don't have problems with people. I let people do their own thing, unless they're freaking scallywags. Hey, Mr. A. Right? Oh, I ain't that great. I am not that great, Georgia Peach. Don't you put that on me, lady. For sure. Well, you guys, this is crazy. I've started going way back. Way back with some telephone calls and, audio. And I mean, this is crazy, you guys. So you have to make sure you come in tomorrow and keep me on track. And I knew when I started getting into Tim Mullins, Lord, Jesus, take the wheel on that. I'm serious. We don't like scallywags. No, we don't, Poppy. We have no time for scallywags at all. Okay, so we knew it was about cotton. There was no secrets about that, okay? We already knew it. Knew it was about. Now, the thing about it is, if some people did take it that it was about Summer and Fred was cleared, and that's the narrative that Ziggy wanted to push from that. That is, Ziggy grabbed a hold of that, and it was like her holy grail, right? Fred isn't a person of interest anymore. He's cleared. He's free, whatever, right? That's what I seen anyway. I don't know about anybody else. That's what I seen. I mean, hey, what is up with psychotic bitches calling other people who aren't psychotic bitches? You got to be a psychotic bitch to call somebody else a psychotic bitch. I'm just saying. We'll call it PB syndrome. PB syndrome. Don't catch it. Get your shot for it today. PB syndrome. Caught in the whole time. Now,
So is the email real? Do you believe that the email's real?
I don't know. I really didn't pay that much attention to it. Because I didn't. I really didn't. Shame on me. I've had a lot of people say that they do not believe that the email was real. Absolutely. There were a lot of people said that. A lot of people said it was. I don't know. I don't know. And had really nothing to do with Summer. It was about Cotton. Carla Barnes. You look good in green, girl. So, and this is the thing what people need to understand too. I could write an email to anybody and act like I'm anybody. I could, right? I absolutely could. That's just, that's just the truth. I may not know a lot about social media, but I do know that for a fact. Yeah. I could email Kurz tomorrow and, use a totally different name or whatever.
Well, I guess the purpose of putting it out, Karen said that she got, after the search and everything, she got online the next morning and it broke her heart to see everybody pointing fingers at Fred. I didn't see that. And I watch everybody. I didn't.
Well, I think, and like I said, there was a lot of it I didn't watch, but what people have to remember, no matter what, they're family. And the girls were going and searching on Fred's property. Could you have listen? Could you have imagined being on property that your brother had been staying on and not knowing what you were going to find? Right? Also, somewhere in my mind, since I've been going back, I believe I have someone saying that the backpack stuff was done for clicks and views. Oh boy, oh boy. Actually, I need to pull that conversation up so I don't forget it. I got it. I got it. We gonna go there. We're gonna go there. For real.
See people.
So anyhow, that is their brother. That is their brother. And I know that they don't wish harm on their brother, but their brother is way over the top, right? Way over the top. He's done some really messed up stuff to him. No, the only person that I kind of seen pissed off was Ziggy about it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's Fred's property. Well, I don't even want to get in. And that was my opinion, that Ziggy was pretty excited when she found out that there was more property than what there was at the trap house. I'm calling it a trap house because Ziggy kind of called it one, right? Right? And I heard excitement in her voice when she talked about it. That's just me, though. I'm not telling anybody else they have to think that way, okay? For real. Into that shit, but, if Fred wanted that property for his wife, this is my opinion, he probably should have paid the taxes on it or went down to the courthouse, and when they auctioned it off, he could have bought it. You know, they
Yeah.
could have lived there happily ever after or whatever. My opinion, you know, that didn't transpire. And this is what I keep trying to tell people too. All of that is family stuff.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Thank you. None of my business. But that's just me. That is just me. But people enjoy that kind of stuff, right? I don't enjoy that at all. I don't. But that's just me. That's just me. But yes, from what I remember, his sisters went and were looking on the property and stuff, right? Hold on, I'm getting a text. All right. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, so okay, here's what was said, I guess. You know, that didn't transpire. And this is what I keep trying to tell people too. All of that is family stuff.
That's what I was just gonna say.
That's family
personal
stuff.
family issues that, you know, we know somewhat of, but why? Why do we know this? Why has all that been blocked to YouTube?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean blocked to YouTube. Fred and Ziggy put a bunch of it out, right? That's how Fred's family came into the universe, right? I don't know, Ruby. I don't know who got the property. I just heard it was auctioned off, right? I don't know, Carrie. And, you know, Tragedy Pimps Exposed said that Karen has answered every question that anybody's had. Now, I know that I've seen her or heard, you know, kind of heard or seen a clip of her over at Six Ups. And I'm not sure if she even goes anywhere else. I really don't know. But unfortunately, I think that this is my opinion. I really feel that Ziggy, especially, knew by bringing, you know, trying to bring Fred's family into it. I think she seen content. I really do. But then again, I don't know Georgia Peach. Like I said, I've just never talked to Karen, or I just felt like so much of that wasn't my business. I mean, I was interested in the lie detector test results, but you know, and I had my own opinion on that. If they are deceased, to go to their children. They need to show the proof of what, Ruby? This is my understanding, and if I'm wrong, somebody tell me. They lost the property. I thought there was back taxes due. I've not heard anything bad about Karen or any of the other siblings or anything. But maybe it's because I just never paid attention. Thank you, Carrie Lawson. That is correct. The property was lost over back taxes due. That is, Fred is their brother. Fred's their brother. And he's pretty wild. We all know that. $458? Well, I would have paid that. Oh, well. I bet they got a lot more. They got a lot more of that in the auction, I bet, right? That's what Karen said. Okay. That
I know we want to know it, but why do we?
and I understood when Kerr said that. I understood what she was saying. That people want to know stuff like that, and I don't know. It is kind of weird to me because I'm the type of person I don't want to know that, right? You know, as the thing is with me, I kind of try to, with a lot of different creators, just try to stick with Summer's case, maybe. I hate to say that, but there are individuals who thought that they had the right to, this is all my opinion, basically tell Fred's sisters that, you know, they had to, you needed to show this or you needed to show that. Fred and Ziggy never gave them an option, really. They felt that they needed to come on and even defend their own characters, right? But, you know, Deb, hey Deb, kind of crazy. But, you know, there are people who do like to watch all this stuff. They want to know everything about somebody's life, the whole kit and caboodle. Now, my life is pretty boring. So, for real, right now, my life is pretty boring here. I'm telling you guys. Oh, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I need to go get me some sandpaper. For real. Hold on. I'm joking. I don't need sandpaper, but. All right, whippersnappers. Oh, wait, I'm muted.
Brother, you know, clear his name, but you let someone else dog your brother. Dog him. I don't get it. And I agree.
What do you, I'm kind of lost right there. I don't think, I sent her a Facebook message. I don't know. She might be busy. Like I said, I don't know a lot about it, so I really don't want to, explain it. I can only give you guys my take on it. I think that's a hard side to pick, because you do have your brother, you care about your brother, and you wouldn't want your brother to remain someone who possibly, allegedly, hearsay, whatever, right? To be called something that he's possibly not, or find out that he did something that he possibly could have done. Just saying, you know what I mean? So that would be, but then again, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for nobody. I can't. But I can see that side of it. And I think if they were to go fight with everybody that dogs on Fred, they'd have a full-time job of it. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, right?
Agree with it, and I'll say that. And I know it's coming. I know I'm going to be roasted.
All right. You got roasted. You got roasted. So I am going to read to you what Tragedy Pimps Exposed said.
Cole's mom?
Because I completely understand what she's saying. And I'm not going to, this is the only time I'm going to speak on this, because I don't know everything that's happened with Fred and his family. I really don't. Okay, hold on. I got to pull it up. I didn't keep it pulled up. And I know Tragedy Pimp Exposed has been around, so I know they know what they're talking about also. So, okay. So I played the clip, and it's about Kirst talking about the family. Wait, let me hear exactly what she said again. I'm so weird. Something about the family. Hold on. Like I said, the gas station stuff, that wasn't a big deal to me.
No,
That wasn't a big fucking deal to me. I mean, I could say, oh,
you believe what you want.
I ain't gonna say it didn't
That's fine.
happen. I mean, a totally different name or whatever.
Well, I guess the purpose of putting it out, Karen said that she got, after the search and everything, she got online the next morning, and it broke her heart to see everybody pointing fingers at Fred.
Okay.
I didn't see that. And I watch everybody. I didn't see people pointing at
No,
Fred.
the only person. So was that after Karen was searching and they put it online? Right? Is that when you're talking about? And maybe she felt people were pointing fingers at Fred. Well, something made her feel that way. I'm sure something made her feel that way. Person that I kind of seen pissed off was Ziggy about it, right? Yeah, Ziggy was pissed because that's Fred's property. Well, that's the only one I ever hear about. I don't even want to get into that shit, but oh damn, Remain Calm's got commercials. Lord have mercy. Hey, Christmas is coming. Christmas
Your
is
brother.
coming, people.
Dogging. I don't get it. And I don't agree with it. And I'll say that. And I know it's coming. I know I'm going to be roasted.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're saying that. Are you saying that she should argue with people who are roasting her brother? Do you may I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Okay. All right, girl. All right, let me read you this comment. And Tragedy Pimps Exposed. Thank you for leaving the comment. I really appreciate you doing that. I'm not a big comment person, so I appreciate it. Okay, DeKirsch just asked why all of this was brought to YouTube in reference to Fred, the Hill family, his sister, etc. Well, because Fred and his new wife Ziggy came on YouTube and started lying. I get it, we can't watch everything, but I know Kirst was around for a lot of that. Fred has lied about his entire family, including minors, Karen's own children, their parents, and helped his wife spread it all on social media in the name of a missing child, I'll add. And absolutely, this is all just fact. Horrific things had been said about their family. That went on for a very long time before Karen ever spoke a word about it on here. I remember her finally coming on here and defending herself, clearing up misinformation, and I remember her helping to answer people's questions, including the ones you ask her, Kirst. No, it doesn't belong on here. Nobody's personal stuff belongs on here, especially when it isn't true. I agree. I'm telling you, right? And I know that my channel would probably be more exciting if I got into all that, all that stuff. A lot of that, Ziggy gave those girls no choice. Fred and Ziggy gave them no choice but to have to come out and talk. Well, I'm sure she did. Ziggy's not fond of Fred's sisters at all. Not at all. I mean, and they did bring it out to YouTube. And I can absolutely see someone wanting to look out for their brother, right? I mean, for real. For real. I'm estranged from my brother. And I mean, that's a hard situation to be in, for sure. But yeah, I don't understand why I wouldn't fight with nobody over it. I wouldn't fight with people over saying shit about my brother. I second that. I agree. They're only trying to dig dirt on others because they themselves was suspect or had something to hide. Johnny Kramer. Human to look out for family. Yes. I'm not going to sit here and say Fred's innocent or guilty of anything to do with Summer. I mean, he's talked freely about his addictions, right? I mean, Fred has said some off the wall stuff. But sorry, this trickster is saying that I think some things that Fred is saying is to keep his wife interested in him. That's just my opinion. I really do. Well, I mean, Ziggy's not stupid. She married Fred, didn't she? Right? Hey, Tropicana. Right? I think you guys would be real surprised. I've got some really old stuff I'm going to pull up. It's so good. I'm really excited about it. I mean, the more I started pulling up today, the more I just kept going. And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about all of this stuff. For sure. Okay, so in Cursed Opinion, I guess she felt that because Karen and them were, clashing and, doing that with, the Fred and Ziggy bullshit or whatever, that when other people went hard on Fred, that, I mean, that's what I took of that, right? But I could be wrong. I mean, everybody takes everything different.
With Thrivent, your personal finances start with you.
We do over here, you guys, my channel we do a lot of commentary over here and give our opinions over here. So a lot of times some of this stuff is definitely, we all have different opinions on things. So I always say opinions of the channel may not be the opinion of somebody else, right? But I do absolutely agree with what Tragedy Pimps Exposed said. I didn't, but what Cursed has followed and known and asked, Fred's sister or whatever, I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't get around much. I really don't. For real. Hey, Linda.
From someone just wanting to be famous or a grifter and
Right.
they don't care what they talk about, to actually putting someone's reputation on the line in the public.
Exactly.
I will not do that to Fred. And I've told certain people I will not throw Fred under the bus. I'm not going to do that.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I had already been on there for like 2 hours. My brain was getting tired. What do you mean you're not going to throw him under the bus? What information would you have that you would think that it would be considered throwing him under the bus? Damn, I wish I'd have paid more attention. Cursed, where are you, lady? I have questions now. I'm nosy, Cursed. You know I'm just nosy, girl. Come on. She might be busy. Probably her supper time. Hey, Eve. Okay, I'm lost. I'm already lost. Don't have to. I mean, his inconsistencies are all over the place. Exactly. I don't think you're throwing him under the bus by showing his own inconsistencies.
I don't. I only
I
play
mean,
what
for
I
real.
heard, what he says, but I'm not going to make a video out of what an inconsistency that has come up with
Right.
another person talking about what happened that day that I just can't see being true. It just can't be. And they are
Well,
also a drug user. And I
right.
don't think that these people are taking that into consideration.
They don't, not at all. Okay,
course,
that's I've
true.
seen it with quite a few people. I mean, okay, I'm dropping the link. Yeah. See, unfortunately, there's a lot of people. Oh, I dropped her a link earlier, Poppy. I just don't. I think she's probably doing something. And that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, see, I don't watch a lot of I don't know who she's talking about that has just came out with new information about that day. I don't know who she's talking about. No, you're fine, Poppy. You're fine. Okay, well, that's my bad for not paying that much attention. And people do not take into consideration that, around the time Summer went missing, a lot of those people had issues with substances. Yes, they did. Some of them still have issues with substances. Okay. Please always remember that. A lot of individuals that were around Summer before she went missing, I don't necessarily, okay, Kirst, I'm not saying the day of, but yes, they were all doing some sort of substance. Some sort of substance. For sure. For sure. And it's like, I don't know why. Commentating on my own video. That dang Remain Calm. Her and those commercials. You guys, I would love to not run ads on my stuff. Really. I have a hard time monetizing my stuff. I mean, I pretty much have to. I got to pay. I got to pay the bills. So, but no, I don't like it.
They're not in it for the right reason. That is why. That is my opinion, I suppose. But it's very clear to me
we're talking
that a
about.
lot of people are not in this for the right reason.
No, I think what frustrated me is not to pat myself on the back or anything, but I've really tried really hard to keep Summer's conversations about Summer on the up and up, and I always have. I don't even need to play no more of that. That's one thing I've always done, was tried to do right by any time that I've talked about Summer. I mean, for sure. I'm not perfect, but hi, Justin.
Hello.
How are you, Justin?
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Justin, I'm waiting on Curse to come up, and I'm gonna talk to Curse, so
Okay.
can you turn your TV down just a little bit, and you can hang out for a couple minutes with me?
I can like mute or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, he muted. Thumbs up, Justin. Goodness sakes. All right. Justin can hang out with us for a few moments, for sure. But no, I totally agree with, I Tragedy Pimps Exposed told me exactly what the situation was. They know more than I do with that stuff. But I do know, because I do remember that, yes, Fred and Ziggy were horrible to them. Horrible. And I think you guys are going to be just as excited as me for what I'm going to show and what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I'm really excited. Justin's giving me the thumbs up. Thumbs up, Justin. I don't want to turn my camera on. I'm sitting here with my night clothes on. For real. Got my house coat on. Got my hair up. Hey, don't. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Praying for Fly. She had to go to the doctor today. Oh my gosh. This stuff with Summer's crazy, you guys. Just crazy. Hey, Kirst.
Hey, you can bring me up when
No, he's leaving right now. Bye, Justin. Thank you. Later. Okay, he's gone. Thank you, Justin. That's so sweet of you to come up.
He's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy.
He is just a panel, HORE.
Yeah.
He always wants
So
up on the
honestly,
panel.
I just caught what you're talking about. Can you catch me up?
Okay, so Tragedy Pimps Exposed left a comment on my video where we were up there talking.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And when the comment was made about, you said something about why was it brought to YouTube? Talking about Fred and his sisters, I guess. Okay, just let me, I'm going to show it to you. I'll read it.
Okay.
So that way you see the whole thing. Okay, hold on. Let me share my screen.
Yesterday's live? I can look it up too. That way I can read it.
No, she gave me the link and the time and everything.
Okay.
So it just said, did Kirst just say why all this was brought to YouTube in reference to Fred, his family, and his sisters? She said, well, because Fred and his new wife Ziggy came on YouTube and started lying. I get it. We can't all watch everything, but I know Kirst was around for all that. Mm-hmm. Fred has lied about his entire family, including minors, Karen's own children, their parents, and helped his wife spread it all across social media in the name of a missing child, I'll add. Horrific things have been said about their family. That went on for a very long time before Karen ever spoke a word on here. I remember her finally coming on here and defending herself, clearing this information. I remember her helping to answer people's questions, including the ones that you ask her, Kirst. And it doesn't belong on here. Nobody's personal stuff belongs on here, especially when it isn't true.
Yep, all true. I agree with what she said. But yesterday when I said that, we were talking about the property. That's what I was specifically talking about. I don't understand and still don't know why, the public knows.
Yeah, we were talking about them. Yeah, we
sold. I don't understand. It's my opinion. It's their personal business. What happened with the house going up for sale?
Right.
It has nothing to do with other.
Well, that was all public information, right?
Yeah, I
mean, yeah,
that's what TP is saying to me. Yeah, I get why Karen has come out because Fred has said some fucked up shit.
Right.
I
Well,
I agree.
right. And I think what she's talking about was uh, because you said that you were talking about fucking damn it, it's on the tip of my tongue.
We talked about it a lot yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I said. On this channel, we talk about so much. Basically, it had something to do with uh, them, Karen and her sisters, trying to kind of prove Fred's innocence, but then again, letting other people dog on Fred.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, can you kind of explain what you meant by that?
The way that I look at it is, let's say it was me and my brother.
Right.
I love my brother very much, and if my brother was in this situation, in Fred's situation, and he has done publicly what Fred has done,
Right.
I certainly would not agree with it.
Right.
So if I chose to go to a creator and go, look, okay, let me help you set something straight. But then on the other hand, if that creator was bashing my brother, that would cross the line for me. I would go, you know what? Look, can you not? Let's
Right. Yeah. Okay. I
Okay.
get it.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just my opinion, and that's how I look at it. I feel like I got either you
No,
got to be
I
on
see
one
what
side
you're
of the fence
saying.
or the other here, and I've got a fence post up my ass at the moment. That's how I feel.
You got a fence post up your. Why you
Yeah,
feel like that?
I don't.
Why you feel like that? Damn, that's a bad feeling, girl.
It's this realm, you know. It's like you either got to be on one side or the other, or you gotta think a certain way or feel a certain way or
Yeah, I
agree
get
with
it.
and I don't. There's some
Right.
things I agree with and some things I don't.
And you have that right. You
And
have that right to agree with something or not agree with it.
yeah,
And I do get what you're saying now that you explained it to me. I get more about what you meant. I can see that.
yeah,
I can see that because I mean, if you have a creator that, is there for you and you are spending time with that creator or whatever, and I think it would be a little different for that creator to openly bash your brother to you, right?
right.
So that's basically kind of what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Well, I've heard, the creator say, call Fred a child. Oh, I don't want to say something that she didn't say. Let me
Right.
think about how she puts it. A child, not child abuser. She put it another way. And Fred
Well,
is
I'm
guilty of charges.
right.
But the way that I had heard her say it a few times, I just didn't agree with it.
Right.
Or, it's, things are said about Fred's mouth or just the way he is. Just put downs, basically.
Right.
That's
Right.
all. And I don't agree with that. I would not want someone talking about my brother, no matter what he did.
Right.
There's just the line that I don't.
I
would not cross,
understand
and
that,
that's just
but
me.
I mean,
But then again, Fred Hill is not my brother. So,
exactly.
I get
Exactly.
it.
Well, I mean, sometimes people just have a relationship where,
Yeah.
they just know that it doesn't bother them when, people say little things.
Yeah.
It just doesn't bother them at all.
Mm.
But I've really never honestly, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad because I will try to get over to watch it when Karen answered questions, but Karen wasn't there that day. And so the only questions that I would think anyone would have for her would concern her family, right? The property and what happened with it, and
Yeah. Well, we there's a real important account that we go by because Karen has placed Julie there that day.
oh yeah,
And that's pretty important, I think.
but
To me, I've always been about timeline, who was there, what information can I gather
yeah, because wasn't
for that.
that around the 3-ish mark?
I believe 2:45 to 3. Yeah. And it's really messed up what Julie supposedly seen, that she's seen, I want to say blue blazer, if anything, a blue vehicle. And the guy appeared to look like Fred, but he wouldn't turn around. But it wasn't Fred. And this was turned in to law enforcement
Okay.
at that time period at the end of 125. But Jackie Dobbs wasn't supposedly there the 15th. He was out on the 14th.
Yeah,
So,
law enforcement had him
who-
at the
who
motel,
was it?
didn't they?
You know?
Let me tell you this, Curse. Going back as far as I have and pulling up a few things, I'm questioning a lot of things that are even being said right now.
Yeah.
Because see, so many things were said in the beginning, and if you hear some of the people that talked about it back then, if you hear them talk about it today, it's not the same.
No, it's not.
Things are switched up and moved around and a
Or they
little bit
suddenly
different.
forget about things. Like
Yeah, or a time
play
that they
stupid on
said,
things.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
That's
mean,
why I made the comment yesterday, RC, that I know that you cover it every other day. And you said, well, how would I do that? When I said, I just think that we should start all over with the information that we have now. Some things we do know for fact, or some things are straightened out, or we can look at it in a different way. If we can just go back to the beginning and, focus on things and get a
well,
better understanding of what happened on the 15th.
I don't know if we'll ever get the
roll out some bullshit.
Well,
I would
a
love
lot
to
of
roll
that
out these footprints. These footprints give me
the only way
God.
that we even knew that the footprints existed was because of the goat. Yeah, wasn't it one of them found on the goat property? He came out on Facebook and talked about it. Then he edited it because he said that law enforcement contacted him and said that he needed to kind of edit that story a little bit. That is what I heard with my own too. I mean,
I posted the screenshots that I have of his Facebook posts.
Hey, Scott.
I posted those yesterday because I had asked AV about it, and AV knew nothing about the footprints. So he says. So that's why I posted them.
Oh, I'm sure AB knew about the footprint.
I mean, he was like, well, if Ernie Shell talked about them, then they're not true. Well, I see everybody talking about them. It just kind of blew my mind.
It was because
Michelle Walks talks
I
about
never heard it come out of law enforcement mouth. The closest thing to that was when Dave Radar said that he was told about them.
Right. And he used the word rumor.
So
there was a rumor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then even with the Josh Phillips guy, if you read exactly what he's saying, I don't think that can be true. I do not think that law enforcement told him, hey, we found Summer's footprint. Because in one of those messages is what he says, that a group of people that came down in four-wheelers or alligators, gators, whatever you call them, he referred to them as. And they told him, yeah, we found one for footprints. And then law enforcement told him to make it very clear, if he's going to talk about it, to make it very clear what he's saying. So
Right.
all these messages that I have are from cracking cases, which they had a big part in that as well when all this came out.
That's you know,
Mhm.
and this is the thing. I really look at who is putting stuff out, and you always have to take that into consideration. Um,
Well, I sure do. I don't
now
believe in the
I
footprints. I never have.
well, I always put them to the side too.
Yeah.
I always did. They don't really make a lot of sense, do they?
Well, no, because like let's start for instance with Fred saying that they hit on a scent on his property, but they didn't open the door and look in. Well, that's bullshit to me, Fred, because
No, I would have thought that they would have
there's no way that they would not check inside of a vehicle.
yeah, well, the only way that they wouldn't is if he made them get a search warrant first, right?
Right. And we didn't see the helicopter flying over above his house looking for Summer. Now, did we? I mean, now I wasn't there, but was there 400 searchers in the woods between Light Road and Ben Hill? No, they were over by fields. I mean,
Right.
it just is what it is. If they found her scent or for sure her footprint, that would be a lead to something. And it
Yeah,
just
you
didn't pan out that way.
so, and neither of those footprints went anywhere, did they?
I,
Not
I
that I
don't
know
know.
of,
I've heard the word ridge line. They were found on a ridge line.
right?
Mary Sexton's property, this neighbor guy's property. But you know, if you hear something and then it can be innocently turned into. Let me
Something
think about how I'm
more.
trying to say it. Yeah, not trying to put out misinformation, but these people may have heard something and thought it to be one way,
Yeah,
and then
that
the
happens.
word just spread.
That is one thing that I've seen happen so much that, you know, they start, talking to other people about, what they are thinking,
Mhm,
and everybody kind of congregates together on the phone or computers, text,
mhm,
whatever, FaceTime, and they start to um they just elaborate more on what it actually was to start with.
yeah, yeah,
And the weird thing to me is one footprint, that was it, in the locations that they were. Um, and I know people have said, oh, they were carrying her and maybe they only put 1 foot down. No, you make that make sense.
yeah.
Even
No, none
on a
of it
four,
makes sense. None of it
even if they had her
is
on a
logical.
four-wheeler, they would not have to, and they're like, well, maybe somebody was carrying her and put her down. Well, from my understanding, uh, there was one footprint, and around that footprint was nothing but the searcher's footprints.
Hmm.
So that's what I heard. Make that make sense. So
Yeah, yeah. I heard. I was in another creators chat at the time, and I asked her what she thought about it, and her outlook was, well, why would that neighbor lie about it? Well, it's not so much he's lying. And so your outlook on it is your if all revolves around what someone said and why would they lie? So then it's got to be true. And or I'm getting somewhere with this, and the same person feels a certain way because they're their heart felt
Right.
sorry for somebody, and
Right.
you can't. We are talking about real life here, folks.
Right.
We got a little girl missing here. You can't go by your heartstrings.
No,
You
you really, I mean, you really can't. You just really gotta, and it's hard for me sometimes because if I just have to say things, I can't make up little names for different things,
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't do that. And,
I'm
you
just
know,
shooting for truth here. Let's make sense. If we're
you
going
got,
to talk about it, let's talk about it right. Let's
well, and the thing
get it
about it
right.
is, nobody should have to try to make sense of the nonsense, right? Because you can't make sense out of nonsense. It shouldn't have been nonsense to start with.
No.
Everybody should have really and I've said this many times. There are a lot of people that started with nothing but summer in their heart. They still have summer in their heart. But they quickly realized that they were good at coming on social media and talking with people and got a good following and made extra money or whatever. And that's the way they took it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that they still don't have summer at heart, but sometimes other things take precedent over that.
Right. And that's why we have different, what they call different communities. You have a drama community, you have a tragedy pimps community, just people that like to call out other creators. You just have different people that do their own thing. And that's like when Jody was on panel with me on your panel the other day.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say, that it's unfortunate that there are people on this platform that do have talent, that they have the gift of gab, that they are intellectual, and it's just their niche. But
right.
Unfortunately, when then it's tidbits of a missing child's case is pulled into your life, and then it starts
Right.
getting mixed in with personal issues. It just gets messy. That's how I see it.
Danny, I've never heard that they were at Mary Sexton's for a cookout the
I've
night
heard that.
before. You have?
Yeah, I just said that.
Was that a cookout after Jackie Dobbs?
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you were talking about footprints. Are you
No,
talking about
she's
something else?
talking about a cookout. She's trying to say in the beginning they said they were all up at Mary's the night before for a barbecue cookout. Mary wasn't in great health, so.
The night before is when Jackie Dobbs was in there. And
Jackie
they were all
Dobbs
down
was
at
in
the
the
end of the
area.
hill talking about what to do about the situation.
When the cops came, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's a whole weird ass situation too.
and I think that's a reason why that her scent could have been at the end of the driveway. That's why Jackie Dobbs' story is important in Summer's case, because so many things happened the day before. And
Well,
I don't post
well,
shit just to post. I posted what I posted last night for a reason.
I didn't see what you posted.
I want Ziggy and Fred to talk about it. I want them to talk about the Spike story, because look, if you go way back to the beginning of all this, it did start with Fred's narrative of how his day went. And then
Right.
from the first time he told Ziggy that he seen Andy on the road, then that made this whole internet go wild on Andy was
Exactly.
involved.
Exactly.
And since then, I think that we have enough information to agree that he was not.
Well, I mean,
you
it's
wanna
going to
believe
be
him or not.
interesting. It's going to be interesting because,
Do you really think that Hayworth would lie for him? Honestly, for him?
I don't think that they would lie to law enforcement for him.
No.
I mean, but as far as anybody else, why should they care about anybody else?
Right. I just,
Um,
I've seen enough.
I thought it was interesting that, you know, in the beginning, Andy said he beat Dawn there. He seen Candace at the end of the road. He seen Candace on the road, and he beat Dawn there. He absolutely did say that.
Okay.
You know, then he starts switching stuff up. You know me, I hate having to show people's inconsistencies.
Mhm.
I'd rather let other people do that.
Mhm.
But yeah, Andy's got a few inconsistencies himself.
Yeah. Well,
And, you
I
know,
can, we talked about that yesterday. It could be as simple as placement. Where was everybody? You know, Don came from this way and he went up the hill and came back down, went to the shed, and Andy's coming down the road and then he's leaving looking for Summer. You know, at what point in time is he talking about he got there? Or when is he
well,
saying that he's seen them, you know? And then Andy's a pothead. I don't look at that little inconsistency as anything. His timing of when he seen Dawn and when he got there, they all got there pretty much the same time. They all rolled in at 7. Whether he said he's seen Candace first and then a year later he's seen Dawn first, to me, that's not important. Summer's already gone. So for me, what does that change? For you, what does that change?
I wasn't there.
I wouldn't either.
Don't change anything for me. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
They're all inconsistent with everything that they've said. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's truth to everything that some of them have said, but you know, when the lies are when it's more negative than positive, you just start considering everything to be negative, right? And that's just that was always the most messed up part to me. When people were lying, they wouldn't answer questions on certain panels, or if you went into a chat and asked a question and they didn't like your question, you know, you get blocked or ignored, and you know, all kinds of different stuff, and that's the way that it was from the beginning. From the beginning.
Yeah, I think that people are starving to talk about Summer still. They're looking for somewhere to go to share their opinions or just
well, that's all I
dare
have
I
is
say have a
opinions.
friendship.
I mean,
there are a lot of people here for an internet friendship, and that's fine.
no, I totally get that. I have quite a few of them, but this is my thing. I over the years have talked to so many people, and they've said so much to me, and I just don't say anything. And you know, when something happens, it takes a lot to push me to where I get pissed. It really does.
Yeah.
It takes me a whole lot.
Yeah.
And
I'm a one and done. I've been that way. If something rubs me the wrong way, I'll make a point of it and then I drop it. I let it go. And that's worked for me. But others are not that way. Others bring up the same issue over and over and over again. And I tend to look at that in a weird and wild way. Like, okay, we've covered this.
Even with me, I even said, you know, Don admittedly said he wanted to set Fred up.
Yes,
he said that himself. So, I mean, if Fred ain't guilty of something, guess what? He's going to name everybody he can name to find out who did it, because he doesn't want that put on him.
Yeah.
Don said he would end up in jail. Don said he would end up in jail.
Yeah.
That he thought he would go to jail for it. He absolutely did say that. There's a lot not right with that man. A lot not right. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, him and Tim Mullins, what a freaking creepy pair.
Yeah.
Creepy pair, I'm telling you.
I believe that they're working on it, and whether they find Summer, I do believe that someone's going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Law enforcement, I'm sure, has so much stuff that they need.
Oh, I'm guaranteeing it.
People do talk just because we don't know it.
Yeah.
Um,
And, you know, them having that new lead was such that was very I think it gave everybody a little bit more hope again.
yeah.
And it's very sad to think that you know, it was probably a recovery search, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Well, yeah.
And or whatever they were looking for.
Yeah.
Whatever
I'm
they
very
were looking
confused
for.
why people start talking about the red truck all of a sudden. You know, where did
Oh.
that? There's no truth to that. Law enforcement didn't mention that. Why did the red truck come up all of a sudden?
I'm going to, well, I don't know, but I'm going to be talking about a little bit of something like that tomorrow. I
Okay.
didn't know that they were talking about the red truck and why.
Well, I
But
know Jason Jensen brought it out on Facebook, and he was talking about someone. You know, there's always locals commenting, and I
oh,
guess a red truck
that's
had been
the
sold.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've got two red trucks. One, Robin Lane owned it, and the other one, Tim Mullins owned it.
Oh, well, there's tons of red trucks.
Right,
Everybody was looking for red trucks back then,
right.
but there's only one red truck that's being looked for. And who knows the real reason why they want to talk to that person. They say they may have seen something, but that makes no sense to me. If the person that's seen the red truck, then they seen the same
Right.
thing the red truck seen. I don't get that one, unless it was maybe a truck sitting somewhere and it was out of place.
Super senses, I will let me put that on my list because I'm sure I'm gonna talk about that too when Tim Mullins made his first appearance at Ben Hill. That dude's freaking wild.
Didn't he say that he was there when it first happened? That he happened to be driving by? Because he's like a journalist, right? So he might have one of those scanners
Well,
and he heard
yeah,
what was happening.
like going around and videoing historical sites,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
I don't know. I've never dove into him. I don't think he has anything to do with summer, so he's irrelevant to me. I don't have the brain space to even care.
I don't necessarily think that he may personally have anything to do with it. But I think he's best friends with a person of interest and became best friends with a person of interest and the little girl's father very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I
Very
think that was
quickly.
probably for his own personal gain of
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
what he does, what his profession is. You know, his name's out there. He is now the Wells media manager.
Yeah,
You know,
he became that media manager really quick, didn't he?
yeah, he's reached out to other families and tried to do the same, and they're like, no, thank you.
Right.
So
I don't know. The guy's a weirdo, but a lot of different interesting things.
is that
A lot of
are
different
you talking
interesting
about
things.
him tomorrow? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be, everybody will like it. It's interesting.
Good.
It's interesting. You know, just a couple phone conversations that are pretty interesting that I haven't heard for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
3 years or more.
Yeah.
So, But if
Well-
I say it, then somebody else will use it and I'll get freaking sidelined. You got to watch that. You got to watch that, people. They'll sideline you. I still laugh about Nana's angels doing that to me. It was so
About the
funny.
backwards.
Well, she had me do all this research, right? And
Okay.
so I gave her I was like, look, you can take this article and you can do like 5 different videos or do a live talk about it or whatever. And I was like, but this right here would be very interesting, find out of the 32 that got busted
Mhm.
in the area whose land got taken by the DEA, because some land got taken, right?
Okay. Mhm.
And she was like, no, I just wanted to know if I could use the news article. And I was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? So I had never listened to Scott H. Scott, this was so funny. So just here's Scott H in front of my face on my computer. And I'm like, who's this guy? And guess what he's talking about?
The
Scott.
32?
Scott, I know you was talking to Nana. Don't even try to say you wasn't, mister.
I've heard.
I
I've
was
heard
like,
of it, but I just
Myra.
don't. Are you going to cover that? Because that would actually be great. Because,
Oh, you want to talk about the 32 people that got busted?
well, maybe. I mean, if you want to now, sure. I can't stay on here with you. I gotta go here shortly, but I think
Oh.
that's it. It might play a part in something.
Oh,
don't-
there's a lot of different names on there. Girl Lawson, and I mean, on and on.
If
On
the
and on.
truth of the matter is, if Candace didn't take that girl off that hill, or if Dawn didn't come home and take her off that hill, then someone else did. And if they did, why?
Well, let me just throw this out there. If Candace told Hunter that Dawn said there were people up there messing with the kids, how did Dawn know that?
Well, here's where I am with that. That was hearsay. But I do find it to be a very strange comment said hours before she disappears. Hunter said that Candace told him that she
Yes.
was on the phone, and
Right.
he was like, who's that? And then she tells him. So it's a two-party conversation,
Yes.
and Hunter has not been 100% on his statements.
You know,
He's
I
come
would
back.
have to go back and I
But
can't
how
remember.
convenient is that something like that is said the day she disappears?
You know what? I don't think I need to go back, even though, it took me so long to go over that Chris McDonough and Dawn interview. I wonder where he's acknowledged that comment or if he even has. I don't know, right?
You mean when he's talking to Andrew, his second time around talking about things?
No.
Is that what you're saying? What are you saying?
Dawn.
Oh,
Dawn. Has he ever?
Let me go through the files in my head real quick.
Because I can't. Did he ever
You know what?
acknowledge
You know
that
what
he
I
made
do?
that comment?
I do have someone message me and said that Candace told her that there was someone on the hill that day looking in the windows.
When she got home?
And I said, the 15th? And they said, yeah.
Oh.
Look, I want to make this very clear, though, what I'm about to say, because I know people hear things and they run with it. And that's why it's hard to say things because it's rumors are rumors. And this is just something that was said. But I want to make a point why I'm saying it at the same time. That the same person that was telling me that said that Fred was on the hill, right?
Right.
Now, that's not me going, hey, you guys, guess what? Fred was on the hill. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you how rumors get spread quickly. I don't know if Candace really told her that, or if she's just telling me that.
Yeah,
But if
that's
Candace did tell her that, why is Candace trying to blame Fred for something like that? You know, it goes so many
right.
different ways here.
Well, that's the thing about it. You know, when people,
Intentions.
this is the thing too, when people tell you things,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not going to call anybody a liar. If they're telling me that that they did this or they did that, it's not for me to call them a liar and tell them they're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Unless I know for a fact, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, that's why
so
I just let it sit there. I thought, oh,
yeah,
well,
I mean, and that's the
that's
thing. So
interesting.
yeah, so much. Hey, Twister,
Yeah.
so much of it you do, and you know, I think that's why I kind of get, you know, there's times I just have a full blown meltdown when it comes to talking about Summer. I just
Mhm.
get so pissed.
Mhm.
It's like, you know, I
Oh
don't know,
boy. See,
but
well,
I get what you're saying about the, um,
okay, look,
you know, the Fred and
let's
Ziggy
talk
stuff.
about this. Let's talk about this. How about it? I mean,
Which part?
what I'm talking about, let's put this in perspective because so many things are hitting my brain right now. I don't like spreading rumors, but I do like sorting things out.
Right.
Remember Jody said that um, when Fred put out the story to Ziggy that he was up on the hill and he was looking in the basement door and he seen the kids in the diapers
Yeah.
and naked and all that.
Yeah.
And then another time he was talking about it, he was up there hauling a tree up there. And Jody said, no, your timeline's way off. That happened years ago.
Right.
And we know how Fred's brain works. He
Right.
is off. You know, it's unfortunate because he could have went into something and he forgot about it.
All
But
right.
so I'm putting two and two together here in my head that the statement that I just said, someone told me that Candace told this woman that Fred was on the hill that day. What if he was? Not anything nefarious. Maybe he was there to get more gas, like he had done before. Like when he says he was there and he seen Damien in the pool. He has gave several statements why he was there that day. You know. So then Jody has said she heard Fred leave that day.
Right.
Just one time. And she said that she heard his vehicle stall out. And she was thinking, well, maybe he was over there visiting Dawn and Candace. I don't know. That's what she
Right.
said. So I made a follow-up video on that. And I addressed it and I said, so are you saying that Fred was over there that day? And her response was, no, I didn't say that. Well, then what are you saying?
Yeah,
If
she's
you're
kind
saying
of,
you think Fred was over there visiting with Fred and, or I'm sorry, Dawn and Candace that day, there,
well,
what
what
other
time
way,
would that have been? Because they would
what
have
other,
had to have been home, right?
what other way do I take that? Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why I brought up the community post. I made it. I want the truth to come out about Fred's timeline because it has changed the narrative of Summer's timeline on everybody, how everybody looks at different things. It bounces on what Fred has said. And Fred is not given his
that,
true timeline.
well, this is the thing with Fred. And I don't know if I wish I could say, but I've never really paid that much attention to Fred after a certain point. I
Well,
never have.
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
either.
I went back and I've watched, you put out his inconsistencies and what he's saying and different stuff like that. But as far as Fred saying what he said that day or did that day, it's changed. Every time he turned around, that story changed.
Mm,
Now, granted, can we look at that in a way that, Fred was telling Ziggy and Ziggy might have been changing things up a little bit, just to
mhm.
kind of benefit the channel or whatever,
Yeah,
absolutely. That's my opinion on that
yeah.
for
I
sure.
think her opinion weighs heavy on what he has said. I think she has influenced him to say a lot of things.
Yes, I
Hurt me,
agree.
but
And I think so too. And this just may be me, but I just feel like that this is just my opinion. I do not know Fred. I don't know his sisters. But it just seemed to me like Ziggy wanted to make sure that it's like there was a wedge put in between his family and him by Ziggy. I think she really went hard on going after his sisters.
oh, she
I
has said
mean,
some inappropriate things about Karen. Yeah, she's
well,
went
she
over
called me a
across the
psychotic
line.
bitch. I mean, for real, and I ain't even related to her.
Yeah,
She ain't
she's
my
lied.
sister-in-law.
She's
That is all really sad, but
mhm.
none
But
of that.
when I talk about Fred because he was friends with Dawn.
Right,
Dawn obviously is a person of interest, and so why should I count out Fred
exactly.
because he married a creator? This is not a friendship for me with anybody. You
Right.
have to look at real life, what could have happened.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And where has Fred really done himself any favors talking about, the dogs hitting behind his truck or whatever in the hell he put out?
Mm,
And then this is facts. When Jody first came out, she said, I was in the creek water to wash the scent off. So the dogs did not get confused with summer scent. She absolutely said that. She also said the dogs had hit at her feet, the search dogs or whatever. Jody absolutely said that. She
How
did.
did you put that? That the dogs, they didn't hit on her feet, they stopped at her feet,
Oh, stopped at
right?
her feet. Well,
Yeah,
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 something like that.
yeah.
And then
But
Candace is,
see
and,
what I mean?
and
If you change the wording and then people take off with that, oh, the dogs hit on her feet.
yeah.
And then they
Well,
look at it as
they
she has,
stopped at her feet.
yeah, and I think there was a reason for it. I think she may have had her dogs out, right?
Right,
Don't take my word for it because I'm not 100% sure on it. But
right,
that's what I'm thinking was said, that they stopped at her feet. And it's
right.
because she had her dogs out. I have never heard her say the dogs hit on her feet.
Well, it was something like that, lady.
Yeah.
I didn't pay much attention to it because Candace was like, oh, there was only an inch of water in there. And
Well,
I'm like,
it was
well,
dammed up too.
the thing about it is I probably would have searched in that area too, because if something did happen and she did fall, you know, you would think she would be somewhere down the mountain.
Yeah.
So I would have
Mm.
looked too.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
it
yeah.
just, I mean, so much of it got into, people fighting with each other and arguing with each other and,
Mm.
people from the area and, You know, some of them were like 30 years ago, you did this shit to me, and you know, and but you know, it's wow. I mean,
I know. It's unfortunate what has happened with Jody and the way that people look at her. A lot of people don't trust her word or they're against her.
well, I mean, Jody can play a game just like the rest of them, you know.
Right.
She's not
But she
immune
was
from.
there, and I do listen to a lot of what she says.
Yeah, you have to. I
You
mean,
know, I'd be silly not to.
I just think that, you know, I do think Jody's talked to law enforcement more than one time, and probably about many things,
Uh-huh.
you know. So I just always remembered that about Jody when she said, you know, I've talked to law enforcement, but it ain't for YouTube. It's
Yep.
not for YouTube. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
you know.
She won't even say what time she heard Fred come in. I mean, leave. She won't say it. So I don't know if that's important or if
Well,
there's a
I
reason
think
for it.
there was and I have it in my playlist where Allie talked to Unmask, and they asked her about kind of the timeline, and she said that they were asked not to talk about it. She wasn't going to talk about the timeline. And I knew right then that a lot of what she was going to say on other people's panels was going to kind of be embellished a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a difference, girl, when somebody's handing you $100, $200 an hour to come and talk to them for an hour, right? And then they're getting cash apps, and they're getting this, and they're getting that, and
yeah. She spent a lot of time on the phone with Mama Bear. You know, Mama Bear got a lot of information out of her.
Out of
Allie.
I
think True might have chimed in a few times too in the phone calls. Yeah, she released those phone
give me
calls.
1 second, girl. 1 second. I'm not even gonna mute. Damn, it's like every light in my house is on. Turn them damn lights off.
That's a country song.
That's a country song. It is. Somebody left all my lights on. But Allie, yeah. I mean, I even asked Andrew, remember when him and Allie were on panels together?
Yeah, a few times.
And I was like, Andrew, you know, story changed as the money got good. And he was like, yeah.
So look where he's
basically,
at now. It's crazy.
What is he doing?
Well, I don't watch him anymore.
I mean, I don't know. I thought he was moving in with Munch and Tammy, and they were all gonna live happily ever after. And
it's like a whole other reality show happening over there.
You ain't lying.
It's nuts.
It is nuts.
But I think a few people are involved in that. Not involved. That might not be the right word. I guess it might be involved because they think he's guilty of things, and they're, you know, searching for answers. And it's my opinion.
Well, the thing with Andrew, I mean, I think I did go back through some of my content and tried to because I had a lot of Matthew, sorry, not Matthew, a lot of Andrew. I had privatized our conversations, and I know I went back and started releasing them and making them public. And trying to put his name in the title, so if people wanted to go back and hear what he said, they could, but he never had an answer for anything.
Well, he wasn't there, so he shouldn't.
Nope. No, and
He's
you
not
know,
afraid to tell you, look, I do it for drama. I do it for
his
money.
he
He's been
does.
very clear about his
He
motive.
absolutely does. No doubt about it. That's what I said. He doesn't lie about being a scallywag. He admits
No,
it.
he knows
He's
he's a
like, I'm a
scallywag.
big time scallywag.
Yeah, a Mr. Scallywag.
That's why I don't mess with Andrew.
Yeah,
You know, to each
yeah,
his own.
yeah.
He can
But
do his
and
own
they
thing.
get a little personal, and then you get drug in it. Not me, but I see people get drug in it, and it just starts from there.
Well, to me, it's fucking petty when they're like, we're mad at this person, so because you know us, you got to be mad at that person, and I'm like, no, it don't fucking work like that.
Yeah, it
I
gets
don't
personal.
have to be mad at anybody, and I don't have to take sides.
It gets personal
And
very easy around here, and that's what I'm
yep,
trying to avoid. And I know it's inevitable because of my opinion on a lot of things that are happening at the time.
right.
And I'm butting heads with people, and I hate it, but it, I just,
This is the thing. If it's something that's your opinion that you really believe in, then that's your opinion. I mean,
I understand that.
the sad thing about it is people do a lot of times get kind of dogged on for something that's their opinion to start with. It's like, if that's the way somebody feels, that's the way they feel. You really can't, you know, you can't change that. So,
Yeah, I just would, I would hope that going forward that, if you have something to say on me, about me, make it about my content. Don't make it personal.
what do you
That's
mean?
not you, but other people. There's talk in the background. There's always talk in the background, But if someone chooses to come out and say something about me, make it about what I'm putting out, like TP did. I appreciate her commenting on your video. It was surprising, because
Yeah, that surprised me.
I've spoke to her many times.
I didn't even know if she's ever even really watched my
Yeah,
videos. But I appreciated the comment because I did understand where she was coming from too.
yeah, so I think
You
she
know,
may have mistaken what I was talking about as well, because I thought I was clear that I was talking about
yeah,
the
we were
property,
taught.
not everything in general.
Yeah,
Should
we were talking about
I
so
get it.
much,
I understand.
so much.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how we roll over here.
Yeah.
We
And I'm
talk
not
to. I
always going
mean,
to agree with people on the same issues. I agree with
well, I mean,
on
there.
a lot of things, but some things I'm not going to agree on. And then I get to where, okay, well, is it video worthy because I want to say something?
Right,
No, probably not, because it's just going to cause drama. I don't go live like a lot of people.
right,
I'm just different in that way. I'm
right.
still trying to find my place on what exactly
Girl,
I'm
I
doing
don't know
here.
where my place is. I really don't.
I got to mute. Hold on.
I don't think I have a place. I just kind of wander around hopelessly alone. Just want somebody to give me a hug, you know. No, I'm glad you explained it, and but there's no way over here that I think what Fred and Ziggy did to the family period is okay at all. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. But I do see, that's a hard place to be in. Fred is their brother, and, you know, not that he's a perfect brother, I'm sure. I mean, I just think that um I don't know. I don't even hardly know what to say anymore, for sure. But I don't think that Hunter would make up that Candace told him Don said there was somebody on the hill trying to touch kids, right? There's just a lot of inconsistencies with all of it. I wish I had all the answers. I wish that I had 50,000 fucking fingers, right? So I could pull up every time somebody asked me a question, I could just pull it up and tell you the answer and ground guide you to the receipts so you could just see all the receipts. For sure. Mama Bear. I think the paperwork that you were talking about is not the paperwork I'm talking about. Did you guys get that straightened out? Did y'all get that straightened out? Inquiring minds wanna know. Too crazy and too dark. What do you mean, maybe not? There's the link if you want to take it. I just heard Crystal was kind of asking some questions on it. What you had was what Tim Mullins put out, right? That's not the same paperwork. Not at all. We're talking about different paperwork. Who put it out? I don't talk to that man. Never have I. No, I believe it was. Okay, so this is hard to do with you in chat. You're talking about the paperwork that stated that the investigation into Don and Candace was closed. CPS was moving on and that they were allowed to be around kids. Right? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you seen? Don and Candace both had one? That's not the paperwork I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not the paperwork I'm talking about is different. Yeah. Totally different paperwork. I just think if people need to realize if Don and Candace got paperwork saying that they were finally cleared from an investigation in which they signed their boys away, what do you think they were being investigated for? Now, don't forget, when an investigation is open, it's because there are things that they're being told that would have them open an investigation. Let's see, it could be, neglect, ABUSE, SA, right? Could be a number of different things on the little investigation list, right? So people can take that however they want to take it. Personally, if someone's being investigated for anything like that, I would prefer not to. Oh, SA was mentioned, was not mentioned. That is very interesting. I don't know which one you've seen. Now you're confusing me, lady. SA was not mentioned. Okay. Did you only see the one that said that the investigation was over? They ended the investigation when Don and Candace signed the boys over. And that paperwork said that also they were allowed to be around children. Is that the one that you saw? Or did you actually see the paperwork? Okay. All right. All right. Yes, that paperwork is out there. Tim Mullins made sure he posted that right away, right? So yeah. I mean, I think quite a few people have seen that. But the investigation paperwork is what I'm talking about. The investigation paperwork. And a lot of people knew about it. They just didn't say anything. You know, that's the thing. A lot of these people don't say anything until, you know, it's just weird. It's just weird. I mean, for sure. Thank you, Kirst. Thank you, darling. Have a good night, and thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. Thank you for doing that. You have a good night. Okay, Kirst had to go. I've never seen the other folks have been talking about it. Oh, yeah, other people were talking about it. Yeah, they showed it. I mean, Tim Mullins is the one who put that out. For sure. All righty. Well, I don't know if anything I said makes sense. And I was researching stuff most of the day. Hopefully tomorrow, we can get into that. Why would one set say different than the other set? Grab summer without Candace. Yeah, that's true, Sylvia Brown. One set of paperwork is given to them that tells them what they are being investigated for. Okay? There's a open cases, right? Well, you can call me, lady. You know my number. Holler at me when you get a chance. So there's a set of paperwork that has the initial investigation. This is what we are investigating. This is what the state of Tennessee Child Protective Services is investigating you for. Okay? That is paperwork all on its own, right? Why are you? Am I a no one? Are you saying I'm no one? Why would you bother me? Why would you bother me? Maybe I try not to bother you, lady. How about that? I don't like to bother people either. Y'all have lives, I know. You all have lives. For sure. Okay. No, there was a lady in that truck. He said that that was somebody who was messed up, right? Girl, I'm never busy. Call me anytime you like. That was a different day. Yeah, that was a different day. All right. I'm going to get off here. Thank you, Curse, for coming up. I appreciate you. Thank you, Tragedy Pimps Exposed, for leaving the comment. And I'm not real good with comments, so it's easier for me to answer or talk about a comment by just talking about it. You know, that's just the way I am. I've always been that way. I don't know why. That's just the way I am. But Curse, thank you for coming up and, talking about it or whatever. And, I do think that, and I have felt this way for a long time, that family should have never been brought into the Summer Wells case using the name of Summer Wells. And, we seen Fred and Ziggy do it. And I find what transpired with Fred's family was sad. It was very sad. Fred has put himself into a position where who does he have anymore? Who does he really have? Who does Fred have? Seriously. Like I said, I'm estranged from my brother. I don't, my brother doesn't pick on me and I don't pick on him. We just leave each other alone. And I am good with that. So, but like I said, I'm a commentary channel and I give my opinion. And I don't know. I don't know. Opinions of this channel are not necessarily the opinions of others. We do try to abide by that over here. So I am going to get off here though. And tomorrow night, I think I've got it scheduled at 5. I think 5 o'clock. Yeah, we're going to be pulling some older stuff up and looking at it. We're just going to, show what was out there and see if it means anything now. That's about all we can do. That is about it. So, okay, I'm getting off here. Peace out. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mods, Poppy, Dev. I was going to tell you. Hang on. Da-da-da-da. Hang on, whippersnappers. Um, hey, how many people we got in here? Merry Christmas. I just gifted 5 memberships. Mama Bear got one. Rachel got one. Straight Shooter got one. Connie got one. And Pat Wicks got one. Real clap. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you. I adore you guys. I do. Thanks for hanging out. And I appreciate you guys hanging out and, you know, not throwing jabs at each other. For sure. Woohoo! Mama Bear's a member. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I will catch you later. Peace out.